Welcome everyone to AAUW Conversation and Connection. I am Sharon Watson Hamilton. AAUW stands for the American Association of University Women. We advocate for equality and advocacy. I guess that's where I can use that word again. But education is really our big focus for young women and girls. And, you know, it sounds like a highfalutin name, but everybody's welcome to join us and support our mission of education and equality. With that, we've had a great start of the year. Happy 2026, everyone. And we just finished with a wonderful meeting. It was about trafficking in Placer County, California. And a tough subject, but very well presented and eye-opening to all the hardships of electronics and young people. That's all I can say on that. There was just, it's mind-boggling how deep kids can get in and you don't even know it and they don't even know it. But anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about today. I have a wonderful guest that has worn a lot of hats. So with that, welcome, Deb Sabo.
Thank you, Sharon.
And I said your name right. I always want to say Sabo, but it's Sabo.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have a fun topic today. But before we start, Deb, I know you've been on the show before.
Yes.
But let's talk about your journey to Auburn, California. Just quickly.
Okay, well, I spent really my whole life in the Bay Area. I'm a sixth-generation born Californian.
Yay!
But when we retired, my daughter was in Auburn, and my granddaughter was in Auburn.
Oh,
so we
there
moved
you
up
go.
here.
Okay.
And I left a whole community in San Jose, but I found my community here.
Yeah.
And I found it through AAUW.
Did you belong to AAUW in the Bay Area?
I did not. I didn't even know anything about it.
Okay. All right.
When I retired, I was looking for a group to go hiking with, and one of your members, Karen Fleming, said, well, why don't you talk to AAUW? They hike.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up here.
And you're in charge of the hiking group now.
And now I run the hiking group, yeah.
How good are you? Karen, that's a nice name to remember. Okay, so after that, let's talk about your work background a little bit. You have been a mom.
Yes.
And a housewife, and you guys have been married over 50 years. I know that. 53 years. I think she started when she was 10.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah. Well, my career took a lot of different places. I went back to school at 28 and got an engineering degree, electrical engineering degree.
Isn't that fantastic?
Had a 5-year-old daughter. Well, let's see, she would have been about 3 at the time. But then I also completed my master's degree while I was working full-time. So I then spent about 25 years in the engineering world.
Yeah. Were you at Hewlett-Packard?
I was at Varian, I was at Hewlett-Packard,
Varian.
and then Hewlett-Packard spun into several different companies.
Why didn't I know you were with Varian?
Yeah.
That's my Linux machines.
That's
Varian.
where I started,
Yeah.
was Varian.
Oh,
that was
that's
my first
fun.
job out of college.
Wasn't there headquarters in Pleasanton?
Well, it was in Palo Alto.
Palo
I
Alto.
actually worked in Santa Clara. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
That was
fun,
a
fun,
great
fun.
job. Great
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. They're a good company. Okay, so electrical engineering?
Electrical engineering.
Isn't that fantastic? That's a very unique field for women.
Yes.
And so you
there
were
weren't very many.
halfway.
I remember walking into a room. It was in Las Vegas. It was a convention. There must have been 1,000 men there, and maybe there was 3 women.
I like the ratio, but yeah, fun on you though. Yeah. Really a pathfinder. And this year I kind of want to honor women. It's 250th anniversary of our country,
right.
And so last time I talked with Susan about women that impressed us, and I think you might be on that list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Well, you just do what you want to do. I always loved math. I always loved science.
Yeah.
I was great at math.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I kind of was always good at math too, so it's a little foreign sometimes when people say they don't like math or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I did like the arts and sewing, and I liked all that too.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, Deb, so you came to AAUW and you've worn many hats with us.
I can't even, I have to think back.
I know, I have to think back too.
I was treasurer for quite a while, which was a job nobody ever wants to do.
No, that's true.
But I could, deal with the numbers, so I was treasurer. Then I did the newsletter for
Yes.
a while, and then I was president for a couple of
years.
And then I really got sucked into Tech Trek, and I really joined AAUW because of Tech Trek.
Tech Trek.
Well, because of the hiking, and then when I learned about Tech Trek, it was like, oh, I'm here to stay.
Right.
So that has been a pull for me.
So let's talk about Tech Trek a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, some people out there might not know exactly what that is. It's one of our bigger programs.
It is.
And it's grown. When I first started, we didn't have it, so I've seen it progress.
Right.
So
we spent about $20,000 last year on Tech Trek, and what we do is we take the young 12, 13-year-old girls, and we send them to a STEM camp. It's a whole week.
Okay.
In our case, we usually send them to UC Davis, although this year we sent some to Santa Cruz.
And have we sent some to Sonoma too?
We have sent
and in
some
the past,
to Sonoma.
when we first started out, we
I've
did Stanford too.
Yes,
so,
yes.
But Davis is so
Yeah.
close and perfect. And,
Yes, and Davis has so many opportunities for the sciences.
Right.
So we send them, these 12 and 13-year-olds who have, some of them, never been away from home, for a whole week on campus, staying in a dorm, going to the cafeteria, going to classes, and we do hands-on math and science and other skills too, like leadership skills, and trying to get them to understand that if they have no money to go to school, there are scholarships. Trying to get them to understand that there are...
And you can work and go to school.
Yeah, well, yes. And so, there are other things that we do, but... and I brought a couple of things here of some of the things, if you don't mind, I'll take a minute, that the girls say after
how
they
fun.
come back, and I put it on my phone because
my
printer wouldn't work.
See, she's so techy.
So let me see if I
she's
can
so
get
techy.
this out.
But real quick, while she's getting that out, we have over the years, we started out with sending like 3 girls, and then it went to 5, and last year we sent
14.
14. Oh.
And we had to go back to the board and get more money.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We hadn't really planned on that, but we had such good...
Because it's up to $800. How much?
It's $1,200 a girl to
Is
send
it now?
them. So
that's a lot. That's a lot.
And we had such good applicants. What we do is the science and math teachers at the grade schools or at the intermediate schools nominate them.
Yeah.
So we get 2 nominations from about 10 schools. So we get about 20 girls nominated. We usually only can send 6 to 8. We did send 14 this year. I don't know what will. Depends on how much we have in the money in the coffers.
I know some of them can be virtual.
Yes.
That came out of the epidemic.
Right.
But do we still do that? And do they still cost as much? Are they
They're
less?
not quite as much. I think they're about $500.
Yeah. Okay.
And the virtual is quite good. The girls that go love it. We
Okay.
actually sent 4 this year to virtual.
Okay.
So we sent 10 to an actual camp.
And then 4.
And then 4 to
That's
virtual.
impressive, though. That.
And,
We do that.
It changes their life. She says Tech Trek set the foundation. This is from one of our campers. Tech Trek set the foundation for everything I have and will accomplish.
Oh.
Tech Trek is one of my favorite experiences. It's another girl. I love the opportunity to be on a college campus with like-minded girls who are interested in science and math. And that's one of the key things we hear is I didn't know there were other girls who like science and math and that were nerdy like me, I guess.
STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Yeah. And if you add an A for arts, it's STEAM.
That's right.
That's
and
right.
we've done some STEAM
Yeah,
projects.
we have. Yeah. But isn't that neat?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
It really does change their life.
And you take their phones away from them.
We
don't
do.
You?
They have no
phones.
And I tell you, that's the biggest thing we have a problem with. Even the parents. It's like, what do you mean you're going to take my daughter's phone away?
I know.
She can't contact me.
Right.
Well, we videotape and take photos, and we put it on a website that's secured. The parents can get on and look at it. Nobody else can, just the parents. So they kind of see what's going on, but they don't hear back from the girls for a week.
I kind of like that. I mean, I moved out from a whole different era But I when I left home, I came 2,000 miles by myself. I called my mom 3 times in a year.
Oh, wow.
It cost too much. I couldn't afford, and we didn't have the technology. And so my poor mom's back there. Well, let's hope she's okay. So, no, Mom, I'm not, but that's okay. No, it was okay. Let's see. All right, Deb, you are just awesome. So we are going to the nuts and bolts of our show.
Okay.
Talk about the next journey of Tech Trek.
Right. So we
get
do
one.
this 1 week with these girls, and they are amazed. Their parents are amazed. We get all kinds of compliments. We have them come back one time to meet with the branch, the women that paid for this,
right?
And they tell us their experience, and then we don't ever hear from them or see them again. It's just incredible in my mind. When I got involved in this organization, I thought, what do you mean you've got a whole audience here? You've got, these girls still have a lot in front of them, right? They're just in 7th grade.
Right.
So, we have to do better. So a few years ago, our director of this at the state level, so this is the California state level, and maybe I should back up a little bit. Tech Trek started 26 years ago in California.
In Paradise,
Stanford.
I believe.
Oh, I thought it was Stanford.
I thought the gal that started, I thought was from Paradise.
She could have been from Paradise, but the actual campus was Stanford.
Yeah, you're right.
And so for 26 years, we have about 17,000 young women we have sent to Tech Trek. Some of them clearly in their 30s and close to 40.
Is that California number, 27,000?
That's California's number.
Wow.
Yeah. What happened is once California started it, we had other states kind of copy it. And today there are 22 sites of campuses that do a Tech Trek for a week across the U.S.
Yeah.
And of those 22, 8 are in California.
That's
So we have
pretty
about
cool.
1/3 of the total Tech Trek that's going on. So we've always been on the cutting edge. And we have a director at the state level, Dr. Mary Isaac. We call her Dr. Mimi. And she had a vision of what do we do to help these girls continue their journey. And she started a couple years ago in California. This is a California effort, to do this alumni organization. We call it Tech Trek Alumni Group.
Okay.
And we use the name T-TAG. T-TAG. T-TAG is there to encourage the branches. There's over 100 branches in California that send girls to camps. So we encourage these branches, local branches like Auburn, to put together a T-TAG, a Tech Trek alumni group. I don't know what else to call it. And it's been a bit of a slow start. We currently have, of the over 100 branches, about 10 in California that do a fair amount with these young alumni Tech Trekkers. And then we probably have another 10 that kind of call themselves, that they have a T-TAG organization. They might do one meeting a year, so it's, it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
And we, we just want to see some connection.
Yeah.
So I got interested in this, and about a year ago I joined the state committee for the T-TAGers.
Of course she did. She doesn't have enough to do.
It's just something I'm so passionate about, and I think it's so important. So it's been a kind of a slow progress because you're starting to build a foundation. I mean, we have almost nothing there. So we've done all kinds of things like build how to start a T-TAG group. We've done some grants. We've just given away about $2,000 to the branches to start a T-TAG organization. Sometimes they have to serve food, or they have to rent a building, and I'll explain what some of the things are that we see the branches do. But there are some costs in doing this, and some branches don't have a lot of money to do this.
That was going to be one of my main questions that we'll get to again afterwards.
So if I could maybe shed some light, because I know it's the question you asked me several times, Sharon, what do they do in
Yeah.
TTAG? So we try to bring back our alumni. We try to have the girls set up a board. We want them to learn leadership, organizational skills, how do you run a meeting, how do you set up a project.
So we, being the branch,
The branch.
or the group that's going to lead the branch,
Yeah.
are going to
Invite these girls.
It's really their group. We're
Right.
just mentoring
We're
it.
mentoring them, right.
Okay.
And so we asked the girls, what kinds of things would you like to do? And so I'll give you some examples of some of the things that the branches have done. Certainly forming the board all in of itself is a learning
Right.
for these girls.
Right.
We take them, the girls sometimes go to a science museum. They've gone to Sacramento Science Museum, the Bay Area. Sometimes they work at a science fair. We had one branch in Sonoma area have the girls put together a project. I believe it was a robot of some sort, and then they took it to a science fair and demonstrated it to young.
They were on a
young
team
kids.
of robots
Yes.
kind of thing. Oh, that's
And
fun.
that was a fun project.
Yeah.
We've done some hiking with the girls where we have somebody that points out the plants and the
Oh.
trees. And you know, the thing that's kind of interesting is people say, well, what about let's go ice skating? The girls want to do this. And somebody says, well, that's not science focused. Well, yes, it is. There's the friction on the ice. There's the temperature of the ice. There's the, you know, everything in the world
We'll come back to
has
science
some
or math.
sort of
Yeah.
science that you can pull it back to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, that's just, and then the other thing that I see a lot of the branches do, the 10 that are pretty active, they'll have women come and speak about their STEM careers to the girls. We typically do this on a Zoom, but sometimes it's done in person. Depends on where our speakers
Right.
are located. That is always a big hit. Girls will say, oh, I never thought about that career. Or I could merge my love of art with science, you know, by doing this. So, and then we help them with scholarships, and we help them to pick their classes in high school.
Oh, you do go that far.
Yeah. So
Oh.
this is a, you know, like for example, some of these girls, I mean, they're really bright, and they're like taking 3 AP classes. It's like, no, that's too much.
Yeah, yeah.
1 AP class is probably enough. Take it in a subject you're interested in, you know, because they get burnt out.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
we kind of give them a little coaching.
But they don't think they will.
No, they don't think they can do it all. So the goal at the end of the day with all of these activities is to keep them interested in STEM, if we can. If we don't, that's fine too. But sometimes they need to understand that this is a career that's okay for women to go into.
Yeah, that's always kind of stumbling for me because I think that seems like a no-brainer to me. Just because of the way I view things, I could do almost anything. I mean, I probably couldn't count. I can't hike, but but you know, it is important. I always thought I was part of it, but I can see where there's other things that I wouldn't feel that way, that I could see this model would work whatever field you want to go into, right?
Right.
So it has, I am a little behind on getting it, but I think I'm there.
Good.
So I was fortunate enough, I have to admit, to have a career where I married hands-on care with technology.
Right.
And so there's a lot of that out there where you don't have to do one or the other. You can blend them both.
Right.
And maybe your passion is one over the other, but you still have both.
Right.
That would be, you know. I think what fascinates me and encourages me to get this group going, a group being a group of AAUW women, to get a group to connect with our trekkers, to keep them interested in AAUW, to keep them interested in all kinds of things out there. I think in this day and age of electronics, not, you know, necessarily STEM, but I think they get a pathway that's narrow.
Yeah.
And I think we need to encourage not only all those things that you touched on, but just the interaction of each other, and knowing there are other women, and especially men too,
Right.
out there that need that encouragement that yeah, we will help you organize the ice skating, and we will bring in science to it. How often in your lifetime have you heard people say, well, how often do you use algebra? That's always
A lot.
a lot. But we don't think of it as we do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And or money things now, or the stock market, or there's just a lot going on in the world exponentially faster every year that it's nice to.
And logical thinking too.
Oh my gosh.
Just like music, which really extends the mind. Math actually extends the mind.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have you have a different way of thinking when you're doing the math.
More logical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than just thinking and feeling and all that. You gotta have both.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool. Now let's go down. Phil, how much time we got? We got plenty of time? Oh, he doesn't know. He's not keeping track of us.
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. We always I like to pull in Phil into my shows. He's the nuts and bolts behind the scenes.
Damn it.
He's gonna
The nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts. Yeah. But I
10
think.
minutes.
Thank you. So Deb, in those, I'll wrap it up. Like in the next 8 minutes, we need the committee to be formed.
Right.
How is it funded?
Yes.
That moving forward. Getting in touch with the girls, I saw somewhere in your information, we already have that list of how many girls have we sent in the Auburn branch?
We have probably sent over 100. I don't have a very good number on that. We never kept track of it.
Right.
But we've
let's
been
say
doing it
26
20
times
years.
10, so that'd be 200.
Yeah.
We might have sent 200.
We might have sent 2 minutes. We didn't always send 6. We started with 3.
Three.
Yeah, but it could be less, something a little
Around
less
that.
than 200. Yeah.
But, so that's not that much. And we have that list, don't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do and we don't.
Okay.
So I spent most of last year, because that was the number one thing that the branches asked for. I don't know how to get a hold of these girls.
Right.
We've lost touch with them.
Right.
So I spent almost all last year. We had a list of 17,000 statewide.
Okay.
I cleaned out that list, and I got, by sending emails and doing a various number of things, I got about 3,000 good emails across the state.
Okay.
So we lost 13,000 girls.
But still,
But we
moving
have
forward,
it. And the thing that's nice is we have the newer girls who are really kind of the ones we're thinking about here, going
Right.
through high school, getting into college. So we do have some up-to-date programs that we now use that we didn't use 20 years ago,
Okay.
where we can at least get their email address and their parents.
And
So
we
yes, to
we
answer your
mostly
question, we
have our branch list fairly.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what's on there. There might be about 40 on our
Okay,
branch list.
all right.
But you can start one of these T-Tag, Tech Trek alumni group,
Uh-huh.
with just a handful.
Yeah.
3 or 4 girls.
I'm always one to start out clean, so it was be like, get in touch with all of them.
Right.
Would be
Yep.
me,
That's
because
what I
that's
do.
what I do. And then
See who's interested.
See who's interested and start out.
Yeah.
And then as the years go on, you can add, subtract, whatever.
You need to get a board, and these girls need to
Yeah.
go on the board.
Yeah.
Now, just to back up a little bit on the database, we have now invested about $5,000 at the state level. We bought a program, a database, a real live database program. We're going to try to import all those names into that database, and then the girls can go in, the women and girls can go in with a link and update their email and update, because
All right, so they can keep in touch
they
if
can
they
keep
want.
in touch,
Yeah.
and in today's world they don't email, they text, so
Yeah.
we're trying to get text numbers.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be a vehicle to follow them and track them and get a little bit of research
Okay.
on how many of the girls we sent to Tech Trek really went into STEM. That's a question we don't really know the
Yeah,
answer
to quantify how good this
Yeah,
program's
how
working.
good is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Is it
That makes good sense too. So I'm seeing a two-pronged need. And you help me, Deb, because I'm always your sounding board of what? We need to have a group of women of our members.
That's right.
To get together to start this,
That's
to
right.
get our branch going on having a
Yeah,
program.
we call it a T-Tag
T-Tag
advisor.
Advisor.
It
Okay.
can be one person, it can be a group.
Well, let's say for us, I'm just going to use the figure
Auburn,
3.
yeah.
For Auburn group, 3 women get together, become our advisors. then they reach out to what we know to be around 40.
Right.
And then they're going to build the board of the actual T-tag. Is that
right.
accurate?
Yeah, the girls will be the board members. The advisors, the women from the branch are going to help because these are 12 and 13-year-old, maybe 15-year-olds. And so this is going to, what is the role of the secretary? What is the role of the president?
Right.
How do you put together a hike that and who do you contact?
Right, right.
So they're going to
that would be interesting because it's always, even in members that know each other, okay, we need this, we need that. And it's hard to motivate or not motivate necessarily. It's hard to, people are busy.
Yes.
And it's difficult. But anyway, going back to what our branch needs at this point, is that kind of our focus?
Yeah, and as far as the money goes, and there's a lot of things you could do without spending a lot of money. We will go, once we get a tech truck advisor, a T-tag advisor, excuse me, we will go to the board and ask for a couple $100. And that might be because they need to pay for transportation. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what the girls want to do.
Right, right.
But we might. And then we also, at the state level, which is where I'm working, have $500 grants that we are
Who's
giving.
backing the grants?
So the state of California has given us $20,000.
The AAUW California.
AAUW Tech Trek organization in the state of California, and we're trying to spend about $5,000 a year.
Okay.
And it really, I'm actually surprised how many new groups that hadn't had a T-tag organization applied. We actually had 5 apply this quarter, $500 each, so it's about $2,500 that we've already allocated, and they are going to start a new T-tag group.
Okay, so I am going to wrap this up pretty quickly, but you know what came to my mind because I'm so weird? Are you going to follow how they spend that money?
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, it would be, okay, sorry, maybe what's going on in the world has affected me, but it seems like a lot of people will get money through a really good means and then not appropriately spend it.
They're working for this money. First of all, they have to apply for the grant. They have to give us a budget.
Okay.
They have to tell us where they're going to spend it and when they're going to spend it. And if they don't make those commitments and they need an extension, we need a report. And then at the end, we get a report of
an annual report
and receipts.
Okay. I like that.
So if they haven't spent the money, they don't get the money.
Oh, gotcha.
We don't give them the money until
you get a receipt.
That
makes good sense.
Yeah. It's only $500. We're
I know.
not talking about
I know, but it's still.
But we do want to make sure it gets spent in the right spot.
And we want to shout out to our group. We need those. I'm going to say 3. I like the number 3. It's a good solid number. It's a triangle. It holds up. Anyway, 3 of our ladies that would get together to maybe spearhead this. I would love to do something like this because I'm backing away from a lot of my involvement just because of my physicality and age and whatever's going on. But something like this would be so fun. But here's my last question, I think. You need quite a number of technical skills, it sounds like. It's going to be a lot of... and I mean, I barely get an email out right. I mean, I do.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there is... if you had 3 people and one person could handle the database, that's maybe the only thing that's really technical.
Okay.
The interaction with the girls, not so much. Now, emails, of course, because people communicate with emails. Texting, yes. You probably do need those.
I can text, but I write letters
you're the second person to make that comment, and I really had to think about it because, again, other than being able to get into the database and get the email addresses, which, again, if you have more than one person, somebody can have that job.
I'm thinking we need 3, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to throw your name out here, Mariana. She's one of the most busy people.
I know.
But if you had a group of 3, and I'm going to stick with that, Mariana would be so good as the technical part of that.
She would be.
And she's good off, I think she was flying to Timbuktu or something and emailing me stuff. I mean, the woman is fantastic on that.
And I have one other member who's currently our membership chair who said she needed to stay in the membership position for 2 years.
Oh,
She said she would jump in. Mary.
Mm-hmm.
She said she would jump in after she was finished, but that's a year out.
Right.
I'd like to start one now.
And I wouldn't mind being the third ring of this, but my role would be ideas. My
Yes.
role would be letter writing. My
Yeah.
role would be, I don't know. It wouldn't. I'm not raising my hand yet,
Right.
but that third person, I can see where maybe I would fit in enough, or keep track of things.
Yeah.
I can do that. But anyway. Oh my gosh, come on,
Great.
AAUW Auburn, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's set
I've
a
been-
date, Dad. Let's set a date that you want these 3 people to get together.
Oh, wow.
April 1st, and it's not Fool's Day.
Yeah, April 1st, we do start our new fiscal year in
June.
June. So that if we had somebody up
Up there?
and kind of running so that they could go to the board when the board starts.
Okay,
up.
let's do this. Let's do May 1st.
Uh-huh.
May Day. We need help. We need to get this together. We need 3 members.
Right.
Okay.
And all the tools are there.
All the tools
and
are there.
I will help because
Yeah.
I have a lot of knowledge on this. Rachel Kanowski, who is our Tech Trek coordinator, will help.
Yeah.
And Jan Winter, who's been sort of helping a little bit already, will help.
Yeah.
So there is help.
So okay. I think by May 1st, we should get 3 people, have 3 people together and be solid on that,
Yeah.
and then move forward.
Yep,
I think that'd be fun. Okay.
that's great.
Okay.
Thanks for putting a goal on it.
Yeah, we're putting a goal. We have to put a goal, and you need to write a little newsletter article and have that goal in
yeah,
there.
this that I sent
Okay.
you is going to go
Good.
out, and I'll add that to it.
Yes, I think we should. Anyway, with that, we've had a lovely visit. Thank you.
for inviting
It's really important. I kind of miss the boat sometimes on how important some of this stuff is until I get energized about it. And you sure brought that energy today. So
Thank
thanks,
you.
Deb.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is going to be
It's
fun.
a great program.
Yeah, okay. So with that, I'm going to wish everyone again a Happy New Year. A couple things coming up. February 1st is our speech trek. It's a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. No, there's no football. I made sure of that. And then our Trivia Bee, which is our main fundraiser, is coming up the end of March 28th. And we're trying to get teams together. Theme this year is creatures big and small. So all animal and critter related, get your teams together. They're $125 per person for a team of 3. So a team of 3 is $375. And that's how we but you get dinner, a fun night. It's a lovely event. So throw that out. Last but not least, and I would be so amiss, I love my Niners. They were so great this last weekend, and they're so beat up. And now we go into Seattle again. But, like one fan said, and I'm going to say it too, they can't beat us 2 times in a row. So we are going there all beat up, but full of energy and love for each other. And I know it's a football game, but my gosh, I love these guys. So everybody root for our Niners. They play this coming Saturday, which I don't know whether this will be out or not. So I'll either be crying next month or I will be, you won't be able to stand me. But anyway, take care of each other. I love you all. We need a lot of love in our world. And so thank you for joining us.